Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Front End Horse live stream. I'm so happy you are here. We have a fantastic guest. So many people in chat already, and I've already been banned from saying the thing that today's show is about. So blank not. They go to space. No, we're going to have to say it. I'm sorry, Ed. Astro is what we are talking about today. I am very, very excited to learn about this. As soon as I saw it, Nate, when did you launch? I don't have a good idea of that. When was the big announcement blog post? Because that shook the Twitterverse, man.
Yes, the only thing that matters is the Twitterverse. Yeah, that was back in June, I want to say.
June, okay.
We had a private launch before that, private beta. But this is kind of our public beta phase back in June.
Yeah, so since June, I've been, excited about Astro. I love the philosophy behind it that we're going to get into. But yeah, so since June, I've been eyeing this project, and I'm so excited to get into it finally. And Nate, thank you so much for being here. Can you give the people in the chat a little bit of an introduction to yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Nate Moore. I am part of the Astro maintenance team, so I'm one of the core maintainers. I officially work for Snowpack, which is the JavaScript CDN, ESM CDN, and we're also the team behind Snowpack, and Astro is kind of our latest project.
That's really cool. So let me actually bring up the Astro site. So when we're talking about it, let me close. I didn't do my little close all the things thing first. Shame on me. I think that's everything. Cool. So astro.build. I'm going to pull it up. So yeah, as we kind of look at it, can you tell us what is it? So I'll kind of give it my best effort in that it is a framework for building websites. Whoa, thank you for that subscription, Wafi. I really appreciate that. My goodness. And I saw, who was it? Tom Hermans. Thank you also for the sub earlier. Really appreciate it. But yeah, so Astro is, and I'm taking a shot, a framework where I'm able to use modern JavaScript templating like React, Vue, Svelte. I hope I'm not signing you up for more than you've already signed up for. And I'm able to let you know which of these components, which parts of my site I want to be static once it hits the client, and which parts I want to stay as React components and maybe hydrate once it hits the client so that it can still act as like a React to-do list or something, but I don't need to put React across my entire site and send a big old JavaScript bundle over the wire. Is that correct?
Yeah,
anything that I got wrong there? Because that's my understanding, but
no, that's exactly right. So yeah, right now we're focused on it's a static site generator, similar to like Gatsby. I would say it's somewhere between like Next.js and 11D. We've kind of tried to take the developer experience of Next and mix it with like the minimal JavaScript output of 11D, and really focus on like HTML first, multi-page application, aka a plain old website, not an SPA. And
see, you get more money if you build a website that way, though. Like, hey, client, I'm gonna build you a multi-page application engine. It's just a website, but yeah, that's smart branding.
But some of the superpowers there that you kind of mentioned are it's framework agnostic, so you can use React, Vue, Svelte. I don't know that this page does a great job, but the maybe the launch post somewhere in the blog. We're working on a redesign of the web page right now, but
this is not a surprise critique of the landing page. So gotcha. No, that's all good. Check out the GitHub. But yeah. So I can use React in my website. So like it kind of has that Next.js power of being able to use React components to nest components to pass data around, and then also I'm able to ship a site to my users that just has very little, as much JavaScript as I opt into. It's not sending everything along the way, right?
Exactly. So one of the ways that tools like Next and Nuxt work right now is, uh, you know, statically rendering things ahead of time is a trade-off because everything's rendered on the client, but what they do is render it ahead of time, so you get that first paint that's really fast. But then it's still rehydrating on the client. So
Right.
if your page is all static, you're still sending all of that JavaScript. React is going to boot up and like just rehydrate all your paragraphs or something,
Yeah.
which
So
seemed to us a little silly. If you
so
could
what's the
find
detriment
a
there
way.
though?
What's that?
What's the detriment there? Like, because some might say that as long as that static bit hits the front page first, I don't care what
Mhm.
happens once they can see the site. So like, what's the actual detriment to sending that big payload after the fact and rehydrating?
Totally. So you can delay that payload as much as possible, um, but you still have to send it. So the document, time to interactive or things like that, as it boots up to become interactive, might be slower. Like if you have a button that's
Got
server
it.
side rendered and you try and click on it right away, maybe it's, everything hasn't initialized yet. Um, so if you actually run the metrics, JavaScript is a really expensive resource. It's the last thing that the browser is going to run, and there's all these ways to optimize how fast your JavaScript is and like when it loads. But the fastest way is always going to be just not to send it.
Yeah. No, it makes complete sense. And honestly, if you're working for any kind of company or any kind of like client, there's a lot of JavaScript that's completely out of your hands. So
Yeah,
like all the trackers and all the stuff that you kind of have to put in because that's what the client wants. The client wants the Google Analytics. The client wants Hotjar and everything else, right? Like
yeah,
you already have on sites that are not completely under your control, kind of a minimum level of JavaScript. So if you can take some off the top of the JavaScript that you're shipping to the,
yeah,
like your Next.js bundle or your Gatsby bundle or whatever, if you can come down to that like bare minimum of just Hotjar, Google Analytics, Bing, Snapchat, and all the 20 others that they want to add,
yeah.
it's gonna be a better experience, right? Like there's something
Yep.
you can get away with, and so if you can say that some, and I'm sorry if I'm triggering anyone in the chat, I've felt that pain myself. But yeah, that's going to be a faster button clicked for the buy now button, right?
Yeah, I think it's really about defaults. When we talk
Hmm.
about UX, we talk about how important defaults are. And the same should apply when it comes to developer experience. So when you're starting from a baseline of nothing, it's a lot easier to keep your numbers down
Yeah,
than starting from a baseline of a whole bunch of stuff and then you have to pare back. It's
right.
it's a lot easier to add on.
That makes sense. Awesome. Yeah. So, do we want to kind of get into the build? Do we want to
Yeah, let's
start?
do it.
Was there anything else about Astro that like we might need to know before we kind of dig in, or can we learn by doing here?
I think we can learn by doing.
Awesome.
So
So
it's powered by Snowpack. I know there's
cool.
one little gotcha with Prismic and Snowpack right now,
Okay.
but we'll look at that when we get there. So
Cool. I'm just gonna make a open folder. One sec. Astro site, select folder. There we go. All right, so I've got a brand new folder here, and I'm gonna do. I think you told me npm init astro. Is that right?
that's right. Yep.
All right. All right, we're getting that. Also, to chat, I still have done a bad job of this overall. I added this feature to our stream, and I think it's a cool feature, but I never put it in Nightbot, so it never reminds you. and I just want to do a good job. But if you wonder anything, or if you okay, so just super quick up front. If you are curious about Astro in any kind of way where you wonder if they can handle your favorite framework, or you wonder if they can do global data, or you want, right, like all these things you might be curious about Astro, to make sure that we get to it, type, and I'm gonna put it here real quick, type !I wonder, just like that, and then does Astro blah blah blah, right? Or does Nate have any experience with anything you want to know about, preferably about Astro, not about Nate's personal life, please. I'm sorry for that example. So that way it'll get added to our I wonder page, and we can make sure that it gets answered. We can't always stop what we're doing and answer it right now. So just make sure you can do that. I wonder how to have separate files. Awesome. So we're already getting some things in. So at any time during this, let me just make sure that actually got added. It did get added. Awesome. I wondered, is that cool? So we've got a couple things already. Perfect. Duo desktop. And then also, if you learn anything, and I promise I will not like interrupt the streams eventually, but if you learn anything, you can put I learned, just like that, and then I learned Astro can do blah blah blah, right? So that way we can kind of all collectively share our class notes together and get really smart. Cool. So ! I wonder, ! I learned. On with the show. Thank you, chat. I think that I have so many questions, and I know you do too, and I want to make sure we capture those and we don't leave here without making Nate answer them. Holding his feet to the fire. Cool. So which app template are we going to use here?
Yeah, we're gonna go with the minimal one.
Cool. But these all like kind of scaffold out like a basic example for us. That's really cool.
Yeah, actually, let's start with the starter kit, because that has kind of a cool feature.
All right.
So you'll notice here, which frameworks do you want to use?
Oh, frameworks too. That's
yeah,
really cool. Okay.
So you can use any. You could say like, let's do Preact and Vue or something.
Okay, I don't know Preact. Is it just React with like?
It's just React. We can do React.
No, I'm good to step outside my comfort zone. So you want to do Preact and Vue? You can do that.
Let's do it.
All right, that's exciting. I love that. All right.
So this will scaffold out. If you check the source folder now, there's going to be components, and that will have just basic example of like a Preact counter.
Awesome.
It's just React, should look pretty familiar.
Yeah.
And then a Vue counter as well.
Oh, awesome.
So.
Wow. And so, yeah, and then we're able to bring those both in here at some point?
Yeah. So if you go to pages,
do I need any kind of a plugin for Astro, or should
actually, yeah. Okay. You can search. It should be the first one there.
Cool.
Install that. I forgot to mention that ahead of time.
I mean, we're doing it on stream. That's great. Now people know, because sometimes it's like, what plugin are you using to get that crazy highlighting?
Totally.
Cool. So it's installed. Should I probably do one of those? Oh no, yeah. That's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to refresh the whole thing.
I think you can just close this.
Okay.
It should be good.
Might be good.
Just work.
Syntax highlighting.
Now you might want to refresh. Oh, there we go.
We got syntax highlighting now. Cool. Awesome.
Cool. So yeah, you'll notice there's this .astro file extension, which is a little funky. Let's go to the pages directory. So this is kind of where we're borrowing from modern things like Next, where we have like file-based routing. And we're using this Astro file because it kind of gives us superpowers. It's a superset of HTML.
Okay.
So if you look down at the bottom, starting on line 17, this looks just like HTML.
Yeah.
You'll notice there are the little, so you can use components in it.
Yeah.
From any framework.
That's really cool.
And that client visible basically means like, I do want this to show up on the client. We can get into that in a second.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, so if you run now in your terminal let's just like get this running.
All right.
Think you might need to install first.
Yes.
npm install.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely curious about whether or not you recommend mixing frameworks. Like I think it's one thing that it's really cool that you can, mix and match, but also you would be shipping, in this case, Preact, which once again I'm not, like, I understand it's like a lighter or a faster React in some way, but
Yeah.
I don't know too much about it. But like if it was React and Vue, you'd be shipping those core libraries to the front end if you use even just one component, right?
Totally. So yeah, on a single page, probably not recommended to do
Got it.
this. But across your site, think if
Yeah.
you were like in a team and you were migrating to the latest framework, like
Oh
if you're building a new
yeah.
page, how
Yeah.
great would it be to like, oh, we're gonna use solid from
That's
here on
such a
out?
great point. Yeah, like it doesn't have to be an entire huge, like, all right, we need to rebuild 100 components from
Yeah.
Vue to solid. It can be
Yep.
all right, we'll just do one a week and we'll eventually get there, kind of thing.
Yep. So
That's a
it's
good
about
point.
migration and
That's really
incrementally
cool. Yeah, yeah,
adopting
yeah.
something new.
That's great. Um, awesome. Okay. So we have installed, I think, right? Yep. We got
Yep.
node modules. We sure do. Cool. All right.
So you should be able to run npm run dev. And this will take a second for Snowpack to just optimize some stuff for us.
Got it. And
Uh,
Snowpack is what exactly?
yeah, so Snowpack is, I think, an unbundler is how we would describe it, but it's similar to Vite,
Okay.
if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of these next generation development server frameworks.
So
And it does all the magic of like supporting TypeScript and CSS modules and all that stuff for you.
so it's kind of a newer Webpack. Is that
Yes,
okay? Cool.
that is where it came from.
Got it.
And it's kind of had this journey to being a dev server um, development environment for you.
Cool. Very cool. And just real quick, people in the chat, hope you don't think that we are ignoring you. I am just I'm so entertained here. Brent, who is B1 Mind, says, "Yeah, island architecture. What a great concept. Use all the things. Stay static first with partial hydration. Yeah, I love that." Andy's here. Hey, welcome, Andy. Alistair Acudio says, "Hello, Alex and Nate. Excited to see Astro give a wee demo. Gave a wee demo at work. Brown bag last week. Only a surface look. Cool. Well, you got some people that are familiar with it. Ben Holmes, I know, is very familiar with it. He's working on Slinkity. We had a Slinkity episode 2 weeks ago or last week. I don't remember exactly, but Slinkity is really cool. Same kind of philosophy, right? So
Yeah, totally.
yeah. Cool. So we've got our site, and look, we've got both counters. So that's our Preact counter. That's our Vue counter.
Yep.
Both doing their thing. That's really cool.
Yeah. So if you go back to the
Mm-hmm.
code and you were to remove those client visible directives there,
Interesting. Okay.
so now we have HMR and everything. So if you open up your if you refresh the page here,
Okay. I just did.
you might notice that these no longer work if you
Yeah.
click on them. So that is pretty weird. But the idea is we are rendering everything to static HTML.
Got it.
So that's how we get that baseline of zero JavaScript. So you'll see, yeah, they just render out, but there's no script or anything to hydrate them.
Right. So they render. Do they render any differently with or without the client visible? But it's just whether or not they rehydrate, or is it?
Yeah, they render a little differently. So now
Okay.
you see there's this Astro root,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
and that's just because we need a node to mount them on.
Got it. Okay.
And then below that, you'll see there's a script here.
Yeah.
So this is very minimal. it just basically takes our component and is going to bootstrap it for us.
Got it. So we're actually shipping the counter as like a standalone JavaScript file.
Yep.
Cool.
So it's actually really fun if you want to check out the network panel.
Yeah.
And refresh this page. And if you scroll up to the top of the page and refresh here,
make it a little bigger so that it doesn't, because I assume we're using a observer.
Yeah.
So I
So
just scrolled
there's
a little
nothing
bit,
here.
and I got an
I'm
inject
not
JS.
sure what that is. I think that's from a Chrome extension.
And
but
we
yeah, as it comes
it,
into the,
we just hit the top one. I got the preact one.
Yep.
So it gets
and
the
then if you
preact
scroll down a little,
runtime, preact hooks, and then preact.
Yep.
And then got our view.
And then you'll get the view one. So you're not paying that cost until you actually see it.
Right. Yeah, so you might have like a really wild footer that does all kinds of fun stuff in React or Vue or whatever, but not every client has to wait for that to load in, and once don't scroll to the bottom, just never see it. So that's great.
Exactly. So this is kind of an Astro thing that, like, you know, components have lazy loading and all that stuff, but we're kind of giving each framework that lazy loading behavior that's customizable out of the box. That's coming from Astro.
Got it. Really cool. Awesome.
Yeah, there's a couple other ways that you can load. So client visible is just one of them.
Okay.
You can also do client idle, which will use like a request idle callback. So that'll wait until the main thread is free.
Oh, nice.
And then hydrate.
Got it.
If you have something like a mobile menu that only works on a certain screen size, you can also do a media query and hydrate based on that.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's really cool.
So that uses window.matchMedia to check if you're matching that.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Got it. And I sadly just understood that visible means that's when it comes it once it's visible, then it'll load in. That took me until now to understand why client visible was named that, but
yes,
it makes sense.
Yeah, these are called client or hydration directives.
Got it.
And they all start with client : and then like the method you want to use to load. So the default is just load, client : load.
Okay.
And that'll just be, you know, right when the page loads.
But it defaults if I don't put a client thing on there, it defaults to static, right?
Yes.
Very cool. I love that as a default. Acudio says, can you combine media and visible?
Yeah, that's a great question. Not at the moment.
Got it.
It's something we'd like to add, probably.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, that's a can see both being useful. Very cool. What was client load? Is that just the default, or rather, it's just a normal, like,
you know,
it's gonna load
we made a choice
else.
to like have you make a decision here the best way it's gonna load. But if you had something like at the very top of the page, your hero or something
had to load
that you want to load immediately, you would use client load.
Got it.
And then for lower priority things, you can do visible or idle or something like that.
Awesome. That makes a lot of sense. I would love this freaking everywhere. Honestly, it's a great pattern. Like the as I forget who said it in chat, said it, but the island architecture, basically, not every single part of your website needs React, needs Vue, needs JavaScript to handle it. So let's only ship the bits. Like everyone has this kind of thing on their website. Everyone has a counter. So for everyone's counter, you need some JavaScript. So yeah, like, let's ship JavaScript for the things that need JavaScript, but the rest, these don't need to rehydrate. So why are we sending that in a bundle? I love the idea. It just makes sense.
Yeah. So the idea of like an island is like it's self-contained. So if you have an existing, you know, React page or a portion of your components, you know, you can bring those and that Astro root element is basically the island. So
Makes sense.
It's, you know, it's totally isolated and deals with itself, and you can have multiple on the page.
Yeah, I love it. Cool. So where do we want to kind of get to building?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna pull up I just have some reference stuff here.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool. I know we have some data in Prismic that would
Yes,
be
we do.
neat to pull in.
Yeah, good call. Let me pull that up. Let me get that. I'm not proud of the lack of creativity that I had around some of my my coming up with stuff here, but I did it, chat. So like my blog posts aren't exactly the most creative or anything, and I know that's my whole thing is, hey, we do creative front end development here, so I'm sorry. But yeah, we got some data here. So you basically asked me to put together a like kind of like a typical developer blog, right? Just to kind of show
Yeah.
the example. So I made a couple pages. I got a home page. And I don't know why I was thinking of Miles Morales. I think I just watched the Spider-Man 2 trailer like an hour
Nice.
before. So Miles of Code. I went with this is Miles Morales' developer blog. I don't know, chat. Like I said, get off my back. Why are you on my back about this? I wish you'd get off it. I stole that from someone. So then blog posts. I basically made two content types. We've got blog posts and we've got pages. And so the blog posts, we've got a few different slices. We've got a heading and a paragraph. We've got some rich text. We've got code blocks, and we've got images. And I took this straight from Ryan from last week. This was actually an animated thing that we made on stream last week. So that's all
so
throughout
cool.
here. And then we got some more rich text. So each blog post has a title and a main image and stuff like that. And so we're going to basically pull this in and try to output it in Astro, maybe using some React, maybe using some Vue, maybe just wait, is there just HTML also? Like I don't even have to like
There's an RFC for that. We do
okay.
want to support like just snippets of HTML, but since
Got it.
Astro is a superset, you can also use like HTML with props. That's basically what Astro
Got
is.
it. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So we're gonna be doing that. We got some great questions coming in the chat. Let me just make sure. I just run really super. Make sure that they're getting captured. Okay, good. Look at all these questions. Love it. I just want to make sure my crappy scripts are still working because I don't want to lose all this gold. Awesome. See, I knew if I built it, they would use it, but then I need to like I need to put it somewhere because it's no one would come in and just assume, oh, I wonder if I could just type this and right. So like I think it's a good thing, and we'll be able to answer those questions. I'm excited.
So yeah, you can see this front matter up at the top here. Something we didn't really talk about. So this is kind of borrowed from Markdown. Except instead of YAML up here, it's JavaScript.
Yeah.
So you can import your components with a syntax you're already familiar with. You can set variables. Top level await is actually enabled here, so you can do dynamic import, stuff like that.
Okay. Is this where we would do our data fetching?
Yeah. So this is actually going to run on the server only.
Okay.
And that's why we didn't go with like a script tag. Like a lot of other tools use a script tag because it's going to run maybe on the server, maybe on the client. But we thought, you know, keep it cleanly separated. This is going to run on the server. Everything else, like Astro only runs on the server, so there's no client side.
Got it.
So if you write a script tag, it's going to be output in your final HTML.
That makes sense. So if I need any functionality, I would use something like a Netlify serverless function or something like that. It's not built into Astro, right?
For sure.
Cool. All right, great.
So yeah, one thing we can do here is like we got to get Prismic installed and set up.
Yep.
So we're gonna install what is it? Prismic DOM and Prismic IO/client.
Oh, what did I just do? That was am I still here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just want to I pressed Control Z and I got a weird beep that I've never heard from my computer before. So I wanted to make sure that chat can. Yeah, I think chat's still there. Okay, we're still good. Thanks. It's like, oh no, what was that? What was that key? That's the shut everything down key. Prismic IO/client, and is it at Prismic IO/DOM? I don't remember this one offhand.
I think it's just Prismic-DOM. Yep. Dash.
Slash. Thank you for that fix. All right, good.
Yep, there you go. While that's installing, there's a quick little workaround for Snowpack that we need to do here. So
cool.
One thing that Snowpack does is builds everything for the browser, which is great unless you're running something on the server. So this is something we're working on fixing.
Okay.
But it's just a little workaround for now. So if you create a snowpack.config.mjs file.
Where did that just go? That just got into my node modules. MJS?
MJS, yeah.
Cool.
So that'll be, you can use export and import here.
Okay.
And then you do export default, an object that has package options, camel case. And then that's an object that has external. And that is an array. And that's just going to have the Prismic IO/client package.
Yep. That's it?
Yeah, and then close that stuff up. That's all we got. So cool. This will just say to Snowpack, like, hey, we know what we're doing. Don't try and build this package for us.
Got it.
It's just going to run in Node.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, now we can get started with like a little Prismic client. So in the source directory, can just make like a Prismic.js file or .ts if you want to use TypeScript.
Go with JavaScript. Cool.
And then we're going to import Prismic from the Prismic IO/client. Yep. And then we need to use our API endpoint. So
right, let me grab that. That was go in here just so everyone knows where it is. API, you can just grab it from here. So just like that. I mean, well, you can, yeah, we're gonna grab that. And cool.
Yep. And then from there, we can just create our client. So we're going to do const client equals prismic.client with the API endpoint. Look at that. GitHub Copilot. So smart.
It's nice. I really appreciate it for so many things.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you want to write the little helper functions now or if you want to come back to that, but I like to, when I'm working with Prismic, I like to like wrap stuff so I'm not doing raw queries.
Yeah, I would love to
on my page.
I know you have experience with Prismic, and I'm actually kind of curious to see how you use it, if you don't mind.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like Prismic.
I didn't pay him to say that. I promise. That's a genuine.
No, it genuinely is. It's really cool for headless CMS stuff. So, if you want to like export a get page function here, that's async.
if I can, okay, I already have. So sometimes, see, like, I like Copilot, but sometimes when I'm typing, I don't know what I've typed and what I haven't.
Right.
It's that, like, okay, is the E mine or is what's mine?
Yeah. So this will just be like a function. So that'll take the slug basically, or UID.
Look at that.
Did it hear me say that? That's wild.
All right. What am I doing wrong here?
Just gotta move get page to the right. To the right of function. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I mean that's that's exactly what I was gonna say you should write. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but it saves me a lot of time with stuff. I don't know. I really enjoy it. Cool.
Yeah.
So we got a get page.
And then if you want to do like a get all posts, maybe.
Cool.
And this will yeah, do that. That will do what GitHub said. Wow. Except I think we called it blog underscore post for the document type.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, it's nice. You're kind of standing on the shoulders of everyone who's made a Prismic site before, right?
Yeah, that's so cool. I need to start using Copilot. I haven't jumped on that yet. So.
I was honestly skeptical. I'm like, how good can it be? But it's very contextually aware. Like it saves me a lot of time. I always have to go back and tweak like one or two things, but for the most part, it saves me a lot of time, especially like if I'm filling out like objects of things. It just like yep, like it can say yes to a whole bunch of things. It's become a big part of my workflow, honestly. Yeah. Ben Holmes says, time to rename the stream. Alex roasts Nate's approach to Prismic for 1 hour. V Prevail says, we need a visual interface to be able to have real-time discussions with AI about naming stuff. Yeah, but it feels more like this other naming. Yeah, and like adding comments is just, I don't know, it works really well. So anyway, enough about Copilot. This is about Astro. Cool. So we've got our functions.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we need to get started here.
Awesome.
So if we want to like wipe out the basic page we have here,
this index one,
yeah, just clear the front matter, I guess.
Okay.
And we'll just we'll import that get page function. Yeah, from prismic.js.
Cool.
And then I'm just double checking. Yeah, so we can just do like, just grab. So that's going to be undefined because we don't have that.
Right.
If we do like const doc equals await get page. And then I think the slug is home.
Yes. Yeah, so that's getting passed through here, and that should grab for us.
The home page.
Yep, this because it's got that as the UID. So
yeah, exactly.
Good catch, Mark Boots. All right.
They aren't async, but they do return a promise, so they should be
true.
fine to await.
Okay, we'll see. Ben Holmes is going in. Hey, Peruvian Idol, good to see you. Cool. So, all right. So we got doc, and then can we console log in here?
Yeah, let's just like log out that. I think we might need to
get rid of this title and
the
tour and stuff.
Yep.
Cool if I wipe this out, these comments.
Totally.
Cool.
And then just that title as well.
All right. Yep. Then kick up the server again. npm run dev. Trust codes needs to be stopped. Oh my gosh. You said I was going to notice something. Sorry.
If you open it up, I mean, you're not going to see much on the page, but in the rookie mistake, Alex. So this is the browser console, but that script only runs in Node, so it's going to be in your
Gosh,
terminal here.
do you even know Astro? Have you ever like oh my god. You looked in the browser console?
No, everybody does that. I do it all the time.
I still do it for like 11T and stuff. I'm like, let me just check. Oh, right. This is it's not going to be there.
Yeah, but
cool.
here we have our Prismic data.
There it is. That's my very creative dev blog name. I love it. Awesome.
So yeah, now we should probably get to rendering that stuff out.
Yeah, so we can actually use that page title.
Yep.
Should we want to pull off? Let's see. Do we need anything else on this? Can we just pull data off this? Probably, right? Slugs
yeah.
page. Yeah. Let's just. If you're cool with that, I assume we can do that, right? That's not a problem.
Yep.
Cool. So this can be okay. I saw it as just one bracket like this. So can I go and do data so this is
totally.
What templating thing is this?
It's Astro. It's inspired by JSX.
Okay.
So hopefully it matches a lot of what you know already.
Got it.
But it's a little closer to HTML.
Got it. So I got it up there.
Was our goal.
There's my title. Mouse's dev blog. And then where's the other bit? Here we go. Welcome to Astro. So if I wanted to put it there. Does it have like logic and like can I do JavaScript inline like data.page title and kind of thing?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So we can hide this logo. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm liking this.
Another cool feature, you see that style tag there? So that's actually going to give us scoped styles. So if you wanted to like do an H1 and just make it red or something, you can kind of see in the output. There you go. Yeah, and if you inspect that,
what to do? I mean, this still kind of works actually.
it does.
Right?
It does.
H1 Astro. I don't think chat can even see that. I accidentally viewed source chat. H1 Astro, and there it is. It's scoped. Unique ID, and then I've got my H1 class with that. That's really nice. And then Ben asks one that I'm going to hit right now. Can I use style for scoped styles and component files like JSX, for instance?
That's a great question. No, not at the moment.
Okay.
But that's a really cool idea.
I was not laughing at you saying no to that. I was laughing at Alistair calling me out on. I don't think I've ever seen anyone type as fast as Alex types Dodger Blue. My fingers know that phrase very well. It's my go-to for whenever I need a color. It's just it's a nice. It's one of the rare nice colors, and it has a cool, memorable name. But like that's a nice blue.
I feel like that's a good icebreaker for web developers. Like, what's your favorite built-in CSS color?
Yeah, and if they say something just awful, you just walk away.
Yeah,
you just
Come on, even white smoke. Are you kidding me?
Oh man, cool. This is awesome. Yeah, so we can start to really like build this out.
Yeah. So one thing I did was like make some wrapper components.
Okay.
For the Prismic stuff.
Awesome.
So if you wanted to make like, I think I just did content.astro.
Okay.
And give it some front matter.
Oh,
and we're going to import Prismic DOM. which I think is just a default.
Wait, okay. So we're importing. Okay, Prismic DOM.
The Prismic-DOM package.
What do you want to import it as? Just as Prismic DOM?
Yeah, Prismic DOM is fine. Camel case.
There we go.
There you go. And then we will be converting whatever our prop is to HTML. So that'll be something like const content will be. We're still in the front matter here.
Got it. Sorry. Jumping around. So you say const content.
So will equal Prismic DOM. Yeah, exactly that. Copilot knew what I was gonna say.
I don't even need to be here. I'm not even needed.
Yeah. So we're gonna need to get our content here as a prop.
Okay,
so
cool.
Yeah, it's interesting because React, you have a function, so you can just take arguments from a function as your props. In Astro, we decided to expose this Astro global. So it's just uppercase Astro. Yep. And then dot props. And that will give you the props.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be dot content or value, whatever you want to call it.
Got it. So this so astro.props is going to essentially be like props at the if I have my React here, essentially like if I were to get props here, that's going to be astro.props, and I'll be able to pull anything that's passed specifically onto this component from that. Cool.
Exactly. And then I don't think you need the other argument here.
I beg to differ. Copilot says I do. So we're doing what it says. Cool.
So yeah, then we'll just like throw this in a div, I guess. And this is bad. This is something we need to fix in Astro. But you can just dump out the HTML. It's not escaped.
I won't tell anyone. It's all good.
But yeah, this is likely changing soon. But
Got
for
it.
now, you can just do that.
Totally. I'll put that next so that people know not to type any funny business in there. All right.
Yeah.
So we've got our content component, right?
Yes.
And so we're gonna have to import it into here and then just use it in line like a React component, basically.
Exactly.
Cool. So import content. It looks like it's figured it out.
Yeah, it does need the .astro extension.
Got it.
Though.
I was gonna ask.
Sticklers about that.
We're gonna have to use JSX, right? Because you can't just. I mean, it probably makes it a lot easier than guessing what's inside a component, right?
Yeah, and we're big fans of ESM, and ESM officially says you need the exact extension.
Got it. Okay.
Place on disk. So.
Got it. And Tanner says content pipe safe is in the works.
Yes, for sure.
Cool. All right. So we've got like our H1 here. I can put it, I don't know, somewhere in our main right here. So content.
Yep.
And then what are we passing in here?
Did we say value or maybe it was also content?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I did just put content. Looking for, is it body one? What do I have on this
Prismic I don't think there's anything on the homepage.
There's nothing. All right, let's real quick add it. This was the joy that I wanted to save for the live show. So that everyone says, make sure you do the homepage live. And I say, all right, if you ask for it. Hey, I'm Miles, and I'm totally a web developer, not a superhero at all. This is an original site that I came up with that uses Prismic and Astro. Make sure if you need to count anything, You use the counters below. Cool.
Perfect. Did you knowingly make a great pun about Spider-Man being a web developer here?
I might have not. I might not have. It might have crossed my mind. That sounds I don't think that's what.
You can take
Maybe
credit for it.
maybe
It's
that's
okay.
what it was. In that I was I was like, oh, what's a web developer name? And then my subconscious is like, here's a joke, and it just slid it under the door, and I picked it up. I
Yeah.
don't think I did though. I'm gonna say no. Um, throw an image in here. I know what we're doing isn't or might not include this. Oh wait, so slices. Are we gonna handle slices?
We are gonna handle
Okay, cool.
slices.
Because
Yeah,
what we
I
just
don't know if
did
there's like an easy.
is actually a
Is there a
slice.
page that just has?
Just content? I don't know. I just realized I created
I
two
think the
slices.
about page does. Yeah.
Got it. So for chat wondering what's a slice, a slice is basically a section of content where I can move it around. So I can move this image up above and the rich text is below. So it just allows me to basically have an array of data objects that I can render in whatever order I choose. And it kind of allows for some flexibility where like this heading, I can't all of a sudden move this heading underneath the rich text and shift that around. So like there's some stuff like the UID that's kind of baked in and static. And then this, I can add as many rich text, as many images as I want. And so in our template, we're just going to want to like loop through the slices array and render each one out as we get it. So that's what we're talking about.
It maps really well conceptually to components.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's I like it a lot. Yeah, Prismic should really pay me for.
Damn it! Why did I even bring that up? And Marlon agrees. Miles Morales is total web developer. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So we've got some slices. We don't actually have content, so that's maybe
so
we're a little ahead of ourselves because I didn't build that in.
Yeah, slices might be the next thing we do, but if
Okay.
we just want to copy this index.astro page to about .astro.
Got it. Does about have content? I think these are also slices. That's the thing.
Okay.
I didn't bake any specific thing in.
All right.
I can real quick,
slices,
but
no, that's okay.
Gives us a bit more flexibility this way. Just a little slight more setup because we're looping through.
Yeah. So if we want to make like a, let's see, how did I do the slices here? I did. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so in content.astro, or we can make a new file that's like slices.
Yeah, so the thing we call it is slice zone.
Yeah.
And stro. It's just
Awesome.
the pattern of basically looping through your slices and rendering those out.
So cool. If we pull content out of astro.props here.
Oh, got it.
Just
so
the variable
content equals oh wait, so we're yeah, got it.
Destructuring.
Cool.
Yep. Then below we can just use an expression and content.map slice.
So like this?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry. A little bit of brain freeze. So it's something so like for how much I love it, it also overwhelms me with the options where I have to keep going, is that right? That's not right. That's not right. Cool. So we got slice. Look at this. See what I mean? Just constantly suggesting things.
Too smart.
Yeah.
So I would just do like a function with a switch here.
Cool.
Slice. I think it's slice underscore type.
Is it slice? So slice dot slice type?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then
I think text might be, no, is text one of them? Let's go. So I'm
we
going to
have
go
heading and paragraph.
look at I think I got a lot of the same slices on both, but let's see. Rich text is, actually, let's log it. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's log it out because I'm not always sure what that's going to come in as. Is that cool?
Yep.
We can just maybe comment that out for now. So
Yep.
HTML comments, is that?
Yes.
Cool.
That
All
is
right.
correct.
So let's import that and just pass it our slices. So import content from Astro. We can do import slice zone from. Cool. So slice zone's going to take our, so we're going to do content. We can change it to slices, I think. That just might make a bit more sense, and I'll change it here.
Yep.
Cool. And then, yeah, so that's coming off of, I should know this by heart, but data body, right?
Body?
Yeah. Cool. We're getting data, right? Yep. All right. So that's going to log here because it doesn't log in the, cannot read reduce of undefined. Prismic DOM issue.
DOM.
Where?
Oh, why is...
We're not even...
Oh, it's probably trying to render out.
Weird. I thought I deleted it.
Yeah, I thought so too. Is it...
We're importing it still.
That might do it.
That's weird that it is running at all then. Oh, is it... No. Okay.
It might have been old. That might have been an old...
Yeah, that's a good point. We're not seeing the log of slice zones. So slices... Should I still like a div here?
Yeah, you probably need to render out.
Do I need to... No, that shouldn't be it.
I think you need to open it in the browser.
Ah, okay.
Just to like hit the route.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that did it. Okay, cool. So we got slice type Twitter card, slice type general card. So that is for our main page.
SEO stuff.
Yeah, that's the SEO stuff that's happening over on our SEO part. Did I not save these main slices? So this might be body one or body two.
I think this is body one.
Yeah. That makes a little more sense. All right, cool.
Is it just which page you make first, or which tab?
I don't know, because I swear maybe, you know what, I copied and pasted some JSON to make those social cards, because like we've got a handy blog post on it. Maybe it set that as the first one, so that might be it. Cudio says, is that showing a time of 1360:44? Is that an American thing?
I have no idea what that is.
Not sure.
I think that's probably wrong.
Yeah, I mean my current well 13. No. That's yeah, it's an hour off if anything, because right now it's 1:01 here. I have no idea. It's a good question though. Dates are
hard.
They're the hardest. Yeah, for sure. Was it body one? Do you remember?
Yes.
Cool. Rich text and image. All right, cool. So we've got two of our slices that we're using. Just some numbers doing number stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, why do you gotta know about the numbers? It's probably wrong, gonna be my standard reply. It's probably wrong. Cool. So we got our slice zone, and so now we can use this content map. And so we got image and we've got rich text, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you want to do for this image?
That's perfect. Way to go, Copilot.
So do we want to make a component like called image?
Yeah. And we'll do the same for rich text.
Okay. So case, so close. Rich text, and then return rich text slice. Sure. Cool. So then more components.
Yep.
image slice dot
That's what we're
Astro.
doing. I think one of the things I like about Astro a lot is that components are, I mean, I've always thought of components as like, it's a snippet of markup and styles and functionality that go together. One of the nice things about Astro is the functionality is like not part of it. It's just markup and styles. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like just a little HTML snippet.
Yeah, and like I've been doing some 11T stuff for like a side project, and the way you do like components with nunchucks has just not been nearly as clean, or at least not as intuitive for me as the way it's done here. Or like the way it's done in React and Vue, like this kind of setup where you just import the component and then render the component. I don't know. It tracks with my mental model a bit more, at least.
Yeah.
I might constant import image slice from. Oh. Cool. All right, we can move that up. And then we've also got rich text slice. So right now this doesn't really do anything. I guess we can just do image.
Yeah. I actually
do you remember?
Is it written?
Cool. I appreciate that.
If you want.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Throw it to you.
Oh, so yeah, you can do that in the Discord DMs would be, or somewhere, or in the stream text chat.
I'll do stream text chat.
Whichever works for you. It's a secret channel that we have, chat, but you're gonna see it in a sec. Don't worry. Yeah, this is great. All right, cool. And we can just talk over this a little bit. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah. So do you want to explain what we've got here?
Yeah. So
you wrote it?
Yeah, the Astro. Oh, this is. I think I'm spreading the slice on 2 props. Just FYI, we don't have to do that. But so yeah, pulling that stuff, destructuring the primary data out of the slice, which has an image with URL, alt text, and dimensions.
Sorry, you'll have to wait. There's a horse in front of you. So Nate sees exactly what we see on the screen. So I appreciate the follow. There's just also a funny timing, sap time.
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
So this is just rendering out an image, and we're gonna define the width is that drop down you have, which says full width or inline. So we're just using those as class names. And this will basically just like make it the full width of the page, or the inline one is just 100% of the container.
Cool. Yeah, and just to show people what you're talking about, actually I think we just saw it there, right? So home. Yeah, so got this little width inline and just a nice little option for people to swap between, right? You might have a different style in your blog, and so Nate accounted for that with these 2 styles. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so awesome. And then do we have one for the text? Do you pretty much have a slice for each of these?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome.
So we have so that one is actually just going to be the content one. We can rename that to rich text slice.
Content works.
Yep.
Import. Oops. Cool. And then content.astro. You can drop that over whenever you want. Yeah, this is. I really like this way of working with this. And if we wanted more logic in here, can we do the same thing to Astro components that we can to JSX components, and that like we can say client visible and stuff like that?
Not Astro components. So these only run on the server.
Got it. So these are
so
static.
It's more like a templating language. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So this is more akin to like a nunchucks where it's going to render completely static. And then if I want that kind of counter or whatever sort of thing, I'm going to reach for my view or my JSX or something.
Yep.
Cool. All right, cool. So there's that.
So I think we might just want to clean up the naming of these props because I think you're using slice.
You are right. So let's go back to content. Cool. And then slice zone slice. Oh, right. So it's not, that's fine.
That's
slice
fine.
Zone needs to pass content.
Or slice is fine if we, I'm actually using, I was using just spreading the slice. So
got it. So slice is fine. We'll change it right here. Slice and then
yes,
slice.
Exactly.
And once again,
we need
chat,
slice
this is
primary.
Slice.primary.
Dot rich text, is that right? Double check that.
Sounds right to me.
Yes, it's dot rich underscore text.
Cool. Thank you for checking that. And then so slice dot map. Slices dot map.
Yeah. And you might be missing a.
Still yelling at me. We need a what's the thing? Default, yeah. Or just return null.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
I don't know why it's yelling. Case declaration or statement expected. Okay, we've got that. We've got that.
Is it because they're on separate lines? Does return need to go up? Shouldn't. Semicolon? I don't know.
We don't need to return the switch, do we?
No, you just return in the case.
Slice unterminated regular expression literal.
That seems wrong. Maybe
do I need to wrap a fragment or anything?
No, it doesn't need to be wrapped. This might be an issue with the I'm not getting it and I have the extension, so it might just be
I don't know.
Let's just
do you want to paste it to me and I'll just use yours?
Yeah, we can do that too.
Or I'll see what happens if I render it. We can try that too. Can't read property image of undefined.
Oh, that's because we're the image slice is
yeah.
This needs to be slice. Astro.props.slice.
Props.slice.
And that should work.
Cool. Okay, so we're getting the stuff. There's the HTML, and the switch didn't matter after all. There's our inline image. Maybe that's a full. Yeah, it's inline, but there's no like container stopping it from getting any bigger than that, so that's fine. This is where we switch to if statements. Yeah, good call, man. That's usually where I'm like, yeah, semicolon at the end of the return.
It might be something with our extension here. We just added some TypeScript.
Okay, got it.
Things, so it might just be highlighting wrong.
Got it. Okay, no worries. Seems to be working. All right, cool. So we've got our image rendering out. We've got our it's text right now, but it could be really rich. If we want to, I'm Miles. We're gonna make that nice and bold, save, and publish that, and see if it's indeed rich. Is it gonna fetch again if I refresh? Yeah, it will. Cool. So there's our rich text. So we can do all kinds of different headings and whatnot in there. We've got the full gamut of lists and images and all that stuff. So cool. So routing in Astro, I'm curious about. Is there anything fancy about routing? Do you do any like prefetching? Is it like the purple pattern or any kind of thing like that?
So it's on terms of the client side or
right.
Yeah, client side, no. We're just outputting a page for each thing. There's no client side routing by default. You can certainly bring your own.
Okay. Oh, wait, so you can have like React router in Astro?
Yeah, you could.
Huh. I can't see
I haven't done it. But
Yeah,
if you had like an SPA, you could drop that into a page in Astro.
that's
Um,
interesting. Huh.
yeah, and if you configure your server um, to redirect to that page, it would totally.
Got it. Um, are there dynamic pages and kind of in this?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
that's what
Gonna
we
do it
can
for the
do
blog.
now.
Awesome.
So yeah, for the blog posts, um, it's Next.js style. So you can do
Bracket.
posts as a
Oh,
directory,
right. Thank you for that follow. Appreciate it.
and then a bracket slug.astro or UID.
Yeah, that works. Swap and Barba are great for add your own routing. I haven't heard of these.
That's true. Yeah, they're like those are like PJAX libraries, so they're built for MPAs, and they'll kind of sit in the middle, and like when you request something, it'll stop the browser's click behavior, and it will swap in the new page, and you can do animated transitions,
Oh,
all sorts of cool
cool.
stuff with those.
That sounds awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
the animated transitions is one thing that I would definitely miss because like the prefetching doesn't hit as hard or like isn't as impactful when your pages are so light, right? Like if you're just shipping
right.
HTML and CSS, like with 11 pages, I don't really miss the prefetching bit.
Yeah,
But the heavier the pages get, the more you miss it, especially the more like the JavaScript has to build out that page. Like, yes, the prefetching and the JavaScript handled routing really makes an impact. But yes, the transitions are one thing that is just like, the page is still fast, but you can't transition between them if you want to. Um,
totally.
that's
So yeah,
cool.
you could use like Google's quick link library, or
Okay,
there's a bunch of options. But yeah, it's up to you to bring your own to Astro at the moment.
cool. Sounds good. All right, so we got our slug. Is Astro is capital Astro going to give me like the slug or like the params slug?
So
Oh,
we
that's
can do this. Let me drop this in the chat again. So we're borrowing heavily from Next.js here. We we had this whole pattern of a different approach to this, and it turns out it was really confusing, and people just liked the way Next did it. So we
okay.
kind of
Cool.
just borrowed that. So
Yeah.
yeah, you export this get static paths,
Okay.
and this probably looks pretty familiar.
Yep. Yeah, I'm familiar with
We're gonna
Next.
get
And Slinkity does a similar thing, right, Ben Holmes? Pretty sure. But
yeah, and
cool.
then
So
you
get static
return the
paths.
params with that slug.
So I got
So I
to
think we wrote
import.
get all posts
Yeah.
before. So params, you can return just the ID um, as the slug. One different thing you can do here is return the props. So now you can get the post out of astro.props below. And when this route renders, you'll have that prop already. So this kind of eliminates the like double fetch thing that you
Oh,
kind of have
okay.
to do with Next.
So got it. So we're doing get static paths. So we're also getting the props off of the post because we're calling for all posts and we're matching for which post matches this ID, right?
Yep. And since we're
Got it.
fetching all the posts up front, we don't need to fetch for individual.
Got it. And so this works. It's just interesting because yeah, like instead of it listening for what the user's typing in, it needs to pre-build it. So essentially, it's like kind of reverse engineering this typical thing of like it'll catch whatever the user types and build out that page. It's going to go through all of my blog posts that exist and put slug in here and then build out a page for that
Yes,
document. Got it.
exactly.
Okay, cool.
Um, yeah, that's probably a good point to mention that we're focused on static site generation right now, but definitely making progress towards server-side rendering and all those features. I know people are asking for them.
You just came out. People need to hold on. You just this came out in June. People, leave the man alone. They are a small team.
We're getting there.
They made a pretty incredible thing that we are going to show off by the end of this. So like hopefully that pushes back a little bit and they can go, okay, we'll wait a little longer, because I'm excited to show that off. I hope people have checked out today's steps and see that check out Playground is kind of thing. Maybe I shouldn't have spoiled what that thing was. I said it's the Playground, but whatever. Check out Surprise. Hold on. So no one remember what I just said. Surprise. Let's do question. There we go. Now it has intrigue. So they'll be into it.
Perfect.
Yeah, no. Honestly, wait, did that not render? It's supposed to be a question mark thing. Anyway, no, I am loving the fact that it's like 11T with easy opt-in React Vue components. Like that to me is above and beyond already. I'm thrilled with that. I can hold on to that for a while. I'm good. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, we're pretty pleased with it. And honestly, it came from like, we really love 11D, but like nunchucks is a little rough.
Not my favorite. Yeah. I have not been loving that part of it.
We were really looking for like a templating language that fit this kind of HTML first, but it's component oriented.
Yeah.
So that's why we ended up building Astro.
It's awesome. Cool. So are you saying that we're going to be getting props? So like, is that going to come in as Astro props now?
Astro.props. Yep. So
cool.
Post will be on there.
So post equals Astro. Oh, I got to do this.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do I need to like await this, or is this just gonna be fine?
No, that will be fine. We have yeah, no need to await there. That'll run ahead of time.
Awesome. That's really cool. Okay, so we got our post, and that's gonna have on it some stuff. It's probably gonna have data on it, right?
I think that'll be post.data.body, and if we render out our slice zone here.
Right. So we gotta import that first. Import zone from, where are we? Hit end.
I think it'll be 2 up.
Component / slice zone. Cool. Post.data.body. Look at you.
Amazing.
Copilot, when you hit, you hit. It is wow. Okay. So what are our let me find a blog post name. I guess we could also use that we could use that same sort of thing to make a list of cards or something on the homepage, right? That whole like get all
yeah.
So let's see, incredible CSS Grid Techniques first. So posts.
So it'll be /posts / that.
Nice. So
there's
little,
some content.
Yeah, and that is definitely my full width image. I mean,
yeah, I think that's just the slices we've made so far, but
yeah, because we've got a couple other slices. Like I've got a heading and a paragraph one where it have like the heading side by side with it, and then a code block. But yeah, so I'm seeing how this all kind of pieces together where. Well, like with Prismic, I'm able to say what my content types are, create my slices, and those slices can have, pretty much any kind of data type in them. Like for example, that one had, two text fields essentially, and then I get that data piped in through this front. Like the front matter is really nice, and I'm curious. Like I can't think of what questions to ask right now. But I think I think every time I come up with a question, I'm like, oh, well, does this run on mount. Oh right, this isn't like I keep having like React data fetching kind of questions, and I go, oh right, that's not what's happening here, right?
Yeah, it's similar patterns. One of the nice things is like if you can learn how Astro fetches data, um, that stays with you since we support different frameworks. Like this is another point about when you're migrating to the next great thing. It's not like, oh, now I have to throw out like the React way to fetch data, and I'm going to learn the solid way to fetch data,
Right.
because this is like one level above that. So you already know how to fetch data, and then you can pipe it to any component you want.
Got it. Yeah, the fact that it's just going to be props, and it's going to follow. I assume it's going to follow the typical, like if I put props on this in the sense of like count, it would just, I'd be able to pull it off.
Totally.
It's like that.
Yep.
That's, yeah, and you got
Yeah, if
hooks,
you want to
hooks in
if
here.
you want to throw that in there, do like initial count.
Yeah, sure. I swear it heard you. I swear to God. It's wild. Initial count 55, sure.
Yeah.
And
then
yeah,
pass
we can
that to the
bring that.
on line 4 use state.
Oh yeah. Good call. And then yeah, in index Astro, we can bring back that. I don't know why it's yelling at me for slice zone still. It's not, is it?
That's on our end.
Okay, cool. No worries. That was counter or preact.
Yep.
And then
yeah, that's gonna want a number.
Yeah. And then preact counter will import that. And this is on our home page. Of course, I didn't put on the page we were on. It made it difficult. So we refresh that.
That's that's a JSX component. I think it says .astro right now.
It does. That's weird. That was that finished by our friend Copilot?
I don't know.
React. It's not showing up. That's weird.
Up.
Okay, you are right though. And 44 is the one I passed in here. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So same.
It's not going to work because it's not. We're not hydrating it.
Client visible would be one.
Yep.
So that would make it so it doesn't load in until I scroll down. And now it hydrates. So now it's going to be working.
Yeah.
Really cool. So no difference here in how the props are passed in or how you need to handle it. It's just
right.
It's going to be the React I know and love from there on.
Totally.
Really nice. Okay, got a couple things in chat I got to do. Stretch. CarolNet asks, what about images? Yeah.
So Next and Nuxt both have awesome image components. Yeah, like we said, we launched back in June, so like we're focusing on stabilizing the APIs and getting everything just ironed out, all the bugs. So image component is like a pretty high priority after that. So hopefully we're definitely thinking about it a lot. So
what I mean, not to if you don't answer this question because it'll make you commit to features, like I don't want anyone in chat to take it that way. Is it basically like would the intention there be to kind of make an Astro style way of building out source sets and handling images in like the way that like by using Sharp to make smaller versions of images automatically, like that sort of thing? Or once again, if you don't want to answer, you can say I'm not sure yet.
I'm not sure on the implementation details, but the goal will be like there's a lot of performance foot guns in working with images. Same with like Google fonts and things like that. So anywhere we can build in like this is the best way to load this,
some
we're
foot
going to
body
be trying
armor
to do that. to like keep you from hurting yourself with your practices.
I
So
think that's what frameworks are for, right? Like
totally.
lean into the framework whenever the framework has a thing like an image way, like a way to route. Use the
Yep.
framework, right? So like, I think that you are kind of spot on, and that's what that's kind of your job, right? Save me from myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make bad decisions. With Astro, I'll make less of them, hopefully.
Yes.
So
Hopefully.
yeah,
It should be, what's the quote? Like, it should be difficult but not impossible to do the wrong thing. That's our
that
goal.
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, make like that happy path really easy, but yeah, also let me break out of it and hurt myself if I want to or need to, right?
Yes.
Ben says, I'd love to see more generic shortcode support too, like an image shortcode that universally works. Huh.
Yeah, I know shortcodes are like a big thing with other templating languages. I think our idea of shortcodes is
More
a
components.
component.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of how we've been thinking about it, but I don't know what the future holds. Maybe we'll maybe we'll decide that's the best way to go.
You heard it here
Eventually.
first. No shortcodes in Astro ever. That's a promise Nate can keep. No. So do we want to build out any more components and try to like flesh this out a little bit more?
I think we have maybe the header and paragraph.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, let's pop that in. That might look kind of nifty. And I'm gonna throw. Let me see. Where does my slug Astro? We got styles, right? Let me actually. So is this? Let me look at. Trying to get a sense. So this is just going to be rendering. Like, what is? Okay, we got an HTML document. We've got like nothing really here. So we're not shipping much in the first place, right? Like, so like I've got to put my HTML
stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
It's gonna help
what
me
we
out here.
do, what the pattern that we kind of like, is something like this.
Trying to get.
And this is what's in our starter. Is having this like base head component that kind of deals with all the SEO stuff for you.
Got it. Let me check this out. Oh, nice. Wait, so this export interface props this whole thing, or just?
Yeah. Yep. That whole thing, it can be a component called basehead.astro.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, basehead.astro. Sounds like like an old-timey insult or something from like the 90s or something. Basehead.
So yeah, the export interface is something we didn't talk about before. So you can define that like capital props is how we say like these are the props this component accepts.
Got it. So similar to Svelte in that way?
Yeah, it's so you can actually write TypeScript in the front matter. It's not just JavaScript.
Okay.
So if you export that props thing, our goal is that the extension can kind of complete that stuff for you.
Nice. Cool. So import this into my. So this is taking care of a lot of the meta stuff at the head.
Yeah.
And so I was bringing this in. Just from
so that'll be like the base head.
So does it go inside the head or does it have the actual head? It goes inside.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I keep my title, I think. Oh wait, no. So title, description, permalink. So those get passed as props.
Yep.
So base head, and then I'll just close it for now. We've got post.
Oh, it might be giving you an error there. You don't have.
Cannot find it. Yes, haven't imported it yet.
Oh, okay.
And then once I import it, it might give me an error.
It might.
All right, there we go. Type object is not assignable to type Astro built-in props.
Yeah, so you're missing the title, description, and permalink.
Yeah. Title equals, and I think we got post dot data dot title. Do you remember?
Double check that.
Post.data. Yeah, I think it's title right there.
Yeah, it is just .title.
And then we got permalink. And that's just gonna be
so that
slash.
is for like SEO purposes. If you have like the path it'll be on, basically, like the full with your site and everything.
Right. So like alexstross.com kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is there a pattern that you use for like passing that around?
Yeah, so in your Astro config,
Yeah.
you can put the build options site there.
Got it.
So whatever this would be, milesofcode.dev or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. Miles. It's a German site. It's clever.
Love it.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so then we can pull that off the Astro object, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so that's on astro.site. Double check that. I think it's Permalink is going to be astro.site. Yeah, which is a URL. So you can do, I don't know if you have done like new URL.
Yeah, but not
pattern.
Not enough to know it like offhand. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be new URL, all uppercase, and then that takes the base. So it would be like period / whatever the path is going to be.
That.
Yep, and then the like post dot plus like post dot data or .uid. Yeah.
Post.data.u, or is it? Yeah, post.data.
I think it's just UID.
Cool.
Yep. And then the second argument is like the base of the URL. So you can pass astro.site in there.
Cool.
And I think it's actually post.uid data.
Sorry, you cut out for a sec. Post.
Remove the data.
Yeah, you are right. UID does go on the actual post, not inside data. Good call.
And then it should be /posts/ as
well. And how do we? Okay, slash
two string.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and then I think it's posts / the UID, right?
It should be this post.
Right, but this slug is at posts / the slug.
It is. Okay. Do we have posts in here, or is this just gonna be inside that? Like, do I have access to this?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you would.
The UID should just be on that post. I feel like. Am I?
Oh yeah, the UID is. I'm just saying the URL would be /post / UID. Like in the string, just put /post.
Oh, sorry, I got it. I was missing it for a while. Thank you. Okay. Cool. You're like, yeah, no, we don't have access to that.
I think the description.
Yeah, I was gonna hard code that one for the sake of the audience.
Totally.
Cool stuff. Cool. Nice. So that base head, then we can go to this page. And so we see a lot more going on here.
Yeah.
Nice. So we got incredible CSS Grid Techniques. That is the title that we passed, right? Yeah, that's that title.
Yep.
And then we've got OG image.
That's hard coded in the
that makes sense.
Base head.
And of course we could open up base head and add more props. Like I could do whatever I want with this. This is a component that it's not like I'm importing this and it's gonna be hard to mess with. This is mine to break. And then you got cool stuff for description, and yeah, there's our local host. Okay, cool. That works great. Localhost 3000 post incredible CSS Grid Techniques. Awesome.
One other fun thing might be if we want to put like a global style sheet.
Yeah.
So that we have you can do a public directory there.
In source.
No, outside there actually is one already
Got it.
that
There
has
it
your
is.
favicon. But if you put like style in there,
So we've got a global
global.css
CSS.
is there. Yep.
Okay, do you
So
pull this in automatically?
no.
Okay,
So you have to add that to the head.
got it. Okay. So
Um,
into base head, yeah, you can do that here.
yep. So you can do. Let me just double check this. So yeah, you can just put like link rel style sheet, and then href is going to be slash style slash global.css.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I use SCSS with that? And
Yes, you can.
do I need to
So
do any kind of plug-in or anything, or is that already built in?
nope, just out of the box.
Got it. How many things are out? It seems like a lot of things are out of the box. Is that kind of like the benefit of Astro? Is that like there's very little like yeah, if you want to add that, it's
Yeah, I think
it's already there. Like I can add okay. I was about to say I can add Svelte, but I can't. I didn't pick that at the beginning, right?
yeah. So if you did want to add that, we could definitely walk through that. Um,
I mean, we can.
it's
So is it like in the Astro config or something?
Yeah, you just add a new package for your
Got
renderers.
it. Okay, that's not
So
that
you
bad.
would
Yeah.
install renderer Svelte uh, and then it should just work.
Got it. And yeah, you've even got like a Tailwind config potentially built
Yep.
in if I uncomment that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it
So
was really, really important for us to, build in those tools that people reach for all the time,
yeah,
and make sure that it's easy to use what you're going to use without installing a bunch of plugins.
yeah. Nino Pepper asks, and I actually don't know the difference between Dart Sass and Node Sass, like in terms of what the output is. Nino, I'd be interested in learning that. But they ask, what version of Sass does it use, if you happen to know?
I'm pretty sure. Let me check the dependencies. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's the Dart Sass. It's the native one, or the one that doesn't have native bindings. The package is just Sass.
got it.
Yep.
Node Sass is
Yeah, Node
deprecated.
Sass is deprecated.
Got it.
So
Okay. Yeah,
that's why we're
yeah.
using
They came
Sass.
out in June, Thomas. They're not going to be shipping some old ass Sass. I mean, come on. Cool. That's awesome. So do you want to show off the we could keep building this here. I feel like I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable here. You know what? We can maybe dip into the questions real quick to make
Yeah,
sure that none of them pertain to this,
sure.
if that's cool. And I apologize for how little style effort I put into this window. You don't even have like the cool little border around your face. It's a crime. But no, let's check this out. And let me actually open up this page in OBS so that I can like hover over them. One sec. Studio mode. I wonder, and then interact. Here we go. Cool. So I wonder, does Astro let you use HTML template languages like Pug?
Not at the moment.
Okay. And we can rapid fire these. That don't like you don't have to have a full robust thing for each. But yeah, but these are good
Cool.
questions. I'm loving it. Adrian says, I wonder how to have separate files using Astro templates, one for CSS, one for JS, and the .astro.
Yeah. So the pattern is basically like use link rel style sheet and use script source. So it's just like how you would use HTML.
Got it. So it's not import and then in quotes like slash style dot css. It's not like the React kind of way that I might right.
Unless you're using React components.
Cool. So I can do it with
So
that.
for CSS modules in React components, we support that.
Awesome.
But in terms of like Astro, for like global styles and stuff like that, we'd recommend just using a link tag.
Got it. And they also say one for the JS. I'm guessing you wouldn't do one for the JS because you can do that in the front matter. Is that?
So front matter runs on the server. So if
Right.
you want something on the client, you need a script with a source.
Got it. So I can import a JavaScript file, like kind of like how I would with 11t.
Yeah, you can use there's a thing called astro.resolve
Oh,
that will basically give you the URL of final script file.
very cool. Okay, so Nino Pepper says, I wonder how lazy rendering of elements with landmark roles is affecting certain assistive technologies. Can they, I assume the assistive technologies, still detect it? Not sure if
Yeah,
you know
that's a
this one.
great question. So since we render everything on the server side first, if that first render has all of the landmark roles, then your HTML will even before it renders. So
Got it.
basically, the first paint will be everything as it was, like a snapshot of what was on the server. Um, so the roles will still be there.
Got it.
If they're added on the client side, then they wouldn't be there. But that's up to you to optimize.
That makes sense. So just so I understand, if I have like for instance, this page here is a bunch of cards, and actually I hope I can scroll on this page. Did I not think that through? Did past Alex not think this through and I can't scroll? We'll see how this goes. This is entertaining either way. Um, so what was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah, if like I have a whole grid of cards like this and they're all React, basically, they're all going to get rendered to the DOM, but whether or not they rehydrate is the lazy loading bit. If I do like a client visible on those card components, right?
Right. So even with React components, it'll, if you have a design system that has React components for all of your patterns, that's
Right.
just static, that will still get output because it's statically rendered first. We do have a client only directive that will not render it on the server if it accesses window or something like that.
Got it. Carlnet says, I wonder how paging content works in Astro. I think like paginating, right?
Yeah,
Like pagination. Do you have anything built in for that?
yeah. So the get static paths actually has some utilities. I think the only one right now
Cool.
is paginate.
Important
But
one.
we pass in a pagination function that you can call on, and that'll kind of handle some of that stuff for you.
That's awesome. Okay. Ben says, I wonder if I can use style for scope styles and component files. I think we touched that one, and I think you
Yep.
did answer that right.
Yeah.
I wonder how Astro will manage images like 11D image does. And you did touch on this, especially with modern image formats like WebP and AVIF. So that's something that is on the roadmap.
Yep.
Cool. Now let's see if I can scroll with. I don't. You know how you do like the trick where you. So apparently the browser um, for OBS doesn't let you scroll. Let me see if I can find a quick workaround here. Properties. Sorry, 1 second. Appreciate everyone's patience here. All right, cool. How do you go? Oh, you know what it is? Oh, it's not even the thing's fault. It's my crappy CSS. I made it so that overflows hidden. That's what it is.
Oops.
Yep, because it holds for the rest of my scenes. It's just another one of my scenes. So that's what it is. Give me 1 second, chat. Thank you for your patience, especially Nate. You've been fantastic. This I'm absolutely loving this. This is
Thanks. It's
really
been
really
super fun.
fascinating. Cool. We're getting there. Trying to at least. All right. Let me promise, chat. We're getting there. Cool. Professional. Duo desktop. Yeah, I think this will do it. Cool. All right. So I wonder
Hey.
how paging content works in Astro. 11T does it great. Yep. I wonder at the moment, does Astro support remark? Is it possible to change the markdown parser or even switch to ASCII Doctor? Interesting, Starfall.
Yeah, we do support Remark and Rehype plugins at the moment. I'm actually working on our new, like, we're taking another look at our Markdown stuff. So
Cool.
I think there's an RFC out there for swapping out the parser.
Awesome. Lucy asks, I wonder, does astro.astro_utils get sun altitude? I'm not sure what this one...
I think that was a joke as you were typing the Copilot thing. It was...
Lucy got me again. She's my coworker. She loves to get me with stuff. So thanks, Lucy. Shout out to Lucy. Ben asks, I wonder what happens if you hydrate like a view component within a React component. If React mounts or unmounts that view component by accident, does the universe explode? Can you pass a React component into a view component? Like, can you do like children and stuff like that? And
should you? Probably not. But can you?
Can I, Nate? Can I?
Yes. You actually can.
Oh my goodness.
There might be some edge cases, but yeah, we kind of built that.
That's
it was
amazing.
kind of an accidental feature that
That's
just
amazing.
was like, I mean, it works. So
that's cool. That's
yeah.
really cool.
So the way we're doing that is by wrapping the children and saying, you know, React has like should component update.
Yeah.
So we basically have like a barrier that says like don't update any of the children.
Got it.
So the children can update themselves.
That's fascinating.
So you can have like nested islands.
I can't wait to see the legacy sites that people are shipping in like 5 years. Just like somebody gets hired on a new job, like, oh my god, it's Svelte inside of Vue inside of React inside of Svelte. V Prevail says, I wonder that you can use multiple frameworks at the same time with Astro.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, so like some of these might be earlier on where like we're not sure if Svelte and React and Vue can be used together. So I'm pretty sure that's what that's getting at. And yeah, it's really cool to seeing those side by side like that. And like you said, being able to transition from a React site piece by piece into a Vue site or into a Svelte site and have those kind of live side by side as a stopgap is fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, that's the goal, not
right.
Some crazy...
Not to encourage people to, hey, just, you know, whatever you wake up and feel like doing today, baby. Yeah. It's just, you know, if you want to ship a Svelte component, ship a Svelte component. No, it's yeah.
Totally.
Nina Pepper says, I wonder how lazy rendering of elements with landmark roles is affecting certain assistive technology. Okay, so I did see them type it twice by accident. I wonder if we can use the media print onload this media equals all trick to lazy load CSS with Astro. I don't know that trick.
I don't know that trick either, but one of the cool things with Astro is it's just HTML. So if it works there, it should work in Astro.
Very cool. And Marlon asked, I wonder if there's a way to cache fetch calls so we make sure that we don't go over API quotas during dev.
Totally a great question. We want to build in like fetch that respects your cache headers and stuff.
Got it.
So once we get there, hopefully.
Sounds good. And yeah, that was that. But and hold on. Lucy asked an actual question. I think we'll see if Lucy's getting me again. I wonder how Astro optimizes the bundle if we're using both Vue and React, for example.
Yeah, so we do some optimization at the end of your build. The idea is we're kind of bundling by component rather than by page. So if you're using components on multiple pages, you know, that's what we're optimizing the bundle for. But we're definitely still working on improving that and tweaking and making everything as optimized as possible.
Very cool. Awesome. And super quick, let's see if let's go back to this. I learned that you can use multiple frameworks at the same time with Astro. There you go. Nice. So yeah, I think that was a follow up to the other one of can you use multiple frameworks. And chat, continue to drop these in because I'm gonna be putting these. We need Astro swag. The Astro logo and everything's awesome, so I totally agree. Keep dropping these in because these will go on the show notes. So like you help the community by saying I learned that, right? Like someone that might have or like a cool fact that might have come in like right in the middle of this video. You can kind of surface that with the show notes here. So that'd be super cool if you could add that in. But before we go, we're kind of saving, I don't know about the best for last, but like an exciting, like drum roll, please. I mean, check out the surprise is kind of the big thing that we're saving for last. So
secret surprise.
what is this?
So I have
Where am I going?
heads down. If you go to astro.build/play, I have been heads down for 2+ months on a brand new compiler for Astro. So our original compiler was forked from Svelte, actually.
Okay.
And that was just to like get us up and running quickly in this proof of concept phase. So now that we know Astro is going well, we took the time and rewrote a new compiler. It's actually written in Go and compiled to WebAssembly. So what you're seeing here is kind of our first taste of compiler. So on the left, you have an Astro page. If you tab over to the JS on the right there, you can see how Astro is actually working.
One sec. There we
go. So this is the new output of our compiler. So it's a little wild, but this is very similar to like Svelte's SSR output.
Right.
We're using this tag template literal because most of the information, most of your HTML is there. So we don't need to, turn that into a virtual DOM and then render back to a string if we already have the information.
Got it.
So the goal here is to like be really fast on the server. The compiler is really fast. If you update some of the template there, like just if you want to, yeah. So in the bottom left, you can't see it on the screen, but there's a little
yeah.
compiled
For some reason my thing cuts off. It might be it was just there, I swear. Let me reload.
Well, it's really fast. If you play with it yourself, it's like the first one's going to be a little slow because it's loading the assembly, but
8 milliseconds is wild.
Yeah. So that's compiling the template and everything. If you hit the plus sign up there, you can render a component out. So if you go back to the page and render that, we already added the import for you.
That's great. So then I can put it like that, and then that's my hello component. A name component. Neat. Okay. Oh, so I can work on this component by itself here, and then I can import it over here. This is really so just because like I don't know build stuff, and I think me going build stuff shows you how little I know it. Like you know, like I've never dug really deep into like a Webpack config file for more than like I need to fix this thing or kind of update it. I'm not the build step guy, but is it safe to say that like you saying it's written in Go and it compiles to WebAssembly, like that just means it's freaking fast? Like is that the big benefit here? Like why should people care? Is kind of like not that came off snotty. What's cool about this? Is it that it's like hella fast?
I totally get it. So yeah, I think we're seeing since ES Build came out and hit the scene, I think that kind of made people stop and say like, okay, writing everything in JavaScript is easy. It's accessible because we're web developers. We know JavaScript, but it's not the most efficient in terms of memory and speed. So that ES build project and SWC with Rust was kind of an eye opener, I think, to say like we can do things a lot faster than we are. So I think we're entering this world where like it's not going to be just JavaScript tooling anymore. JavaScript tooling is going to be like hybrid tooling, Rome, if you've heard of that,
Yeah.
is moving to like they're rewriting everything in Rust. That's going to be insanely fast.
Got it.
Snowpack uses a lot of WebAssembly under the hood. So not to say we're like just chasing this trend, but clearly the
You're
winds are
taking
headed that
advantage of
way.
it. Yeah, you're taking
Yeah,
advantage of new technology that allows us to, as the chat's saying, Ben saying we went from Webpack rebundling for minutes to this, and so
yeah,
what a year it's been. And Thomas agrees. I'm so happy I can finally see the fall of dreaded Webpack. It's just there are newer technologies that allow us to build faster and not have to wait on that Webpack build. And yeah, compiling in 8 milliseconds. It's almost one of those things, Nate, where it's like it feels too fast. So like I don't know if you've heard that like TurboTax and like Uber and stuff, they add
like
time to like thinking, and it makes me think like, oh, I can see the work it's putting in. 8 milliseconds. I'm like, okay, what's happening? Because it's too fast almost, right? Like,
yes.
but
well, if it makes you feel better, it's taken me 2 months to get here. So
that makes me feel better. No, that's so cool.
Yeah, we're really excited. This REPL is just kind of the first taste of this because we've been working on it for a while. We wanted to get it in people's hands. There's still bugs. It's definitely not working perfectly, but this is why we wanted to do this. So we're gonna slowly fix those bugs and migrate the main compiler in the existing Astro to this new WebAssembly powered one.
Got it. So this playground's kind of the first step towards getting what we were just building with over to this new Go and WebAssembly based compiler.
Exactly.
That's really exciting. So for me, that means I'm working on my website. I hit Control S, and before I lift my finger off the key, basically, my website's already updated.
Yeah,
right? Like
that'll be the goal.
Yeah, right. Like 8 milliseconds for this, but it'll be 40 milliseconds or whatever the heck. But it's going to be indistinguishable from instant.
Yeah, so really fast
cool.
development environment, hopefully very fast builds. But yeah, we're really excited about where this is headed. So.
Awesome. Yeah, and Adrian just asked about the page transitions. Yeah, was it Link Engine, Swap, and Barba? I think were the three, right?
Yeah, Google's Quick Link is one of them too.
That's what it was. Yeah. That was the one that I called Link Engine. So anyone out there looking for a new routing thing, Link Engine's apparently available because that's not a thing. So
I will add it to my list of domain names.
Made up names. Cool. Nate, this was fantastic. Chat, thank you so much for all those wonderful questions. I feel like we all did a great job of kind of getting in there. Let me just check if we got. Oh, did we lose Nate? Did Nate just? Nate said, "I am out of here." I think maybe his battery died. I don't know. He is back.
I'm still here.
Yeah, you just disappeared and I couldn't hear you for a second. That was really funny. I swear I wasn't pretending you were invisible. Your whole screen went black and I didn't hear a sound. But he's back.
That's all right.
All right. So, but yeah, Nate, that was fantastic. Ash, I honestly love it. I'm excited to get into it. I think I want to port one of my kind of like side projects I've been playing with over to it and see how that kind of goes. Yeah, thank you for the confetti, chat. That's oh man, Brent, well done. I can't believe we didn't think of the rocket confetti but before this. Give me one more. Yeah, this was so cool. Yeah, thank you so much. Is there anywhere else besides like the astro.build docs that people should go to learn Astro?
Yeah, astro.build is our website. Astro.build/chat is our
Yeah, check
Discord
out the Discord.
community.
Yeah.
Shout out for that. It's really fun. We, I showed a sneak peek of the REPL yesterday.
Yeah, I just
So
happened to see that you were live. Like it was just funny. I just popped over there and got a little sneak peek into it. And then yeah, you joined our Discord today. So we're Discord buddies now.
yeah,
It's fun. Combine all the communities. It's good stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, so,
and we are on Twitter as well. Astro.build,
awesome.
dot.
Right.
It's all spelled out. So
Yeah, and it's all linked there at Astro Build. I just dropped that into chat. So yeah, thank you so much, chat, for coming. And if you are here for the first time, go ahead and follow. We're always learning something about front end development. Always learning something about creative development. Tomorrow we actually have. Let me just pull this up super quick, if you don't mind. Hang around for one more second, Nate. Because we actually have a really great show lined up for tomorrow. My friend Elithia. She makes these fantastic shaders, and we have a show called Component Carousel where people make a component around a theme, and she's going to make a fantastic space themed shader. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And then on Thursday, we've got my friend George Francis coming on. He's been on a few times now. He's kind of becoming a regular, and I love it. And people in the chat love him because he's just delightful and makes really fun art. Going to teach us some more generative art. We've been learning generative art with George Francis. See, oh cool, George again. Like yeah, he's a delight to have on. We love everyone. We've got a really friendly community. I love that. But yeah, George is coming back on to teach us some more generative art. It's going to be a great time. George is super lovely. So yeah, follow if you're not following already. And we're gonna have a great week. And right now, we're gonna go find someone else to raid. Thank you for that follow, Borkstick. I love the name. I love that you're here now. So welcome. You are now an honorary horse. So hang in there. We're gonna find somebody else to raid. And thank you once again, Nate. This was a blast. We ought to have you back sometime.
yeah, thanks so much. I
Cool.
really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Take care, chat. We'll see you tomorrow. But hang in there. We are raiding. See you soon.